Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be here with you, Noah.
Let's do it. We are on the clock.
Okay, I want to quickly acknowledge a couple things. First of all, Noah is wearing adult male pants today.
I know. We have heard the complaints mostly from my own inner dialogue when I wear shorts. There's a lot of moose knuckle to be shown on the program, so I put on real pants, not even sweatpants, real khaki pants, which will probably add to my podcasting irritability, but here we are.
He's wearing real pants. He's not in his pajama basketball moose knuckles, and then I'm trying to distract. I'm wearing a corset, so at the minimum, can I get the eyeballs off your moose knuckles and right onto my cleavage?
That's how we're doing. My nuts are covered, your tits are out, and we're ready for podcast success.
Yeah, we're really shifting focus here at the podcast.
As we should, but we are truly on the clock. We are on day 7,245 of summer break. The kids are home. We are not screen time parents. Esther is very strict about limiting their screen time, but for the sake of you, our podcast listening audience, we plugged our kids up to be cyborgs on their iPads for the next hour so that we could podcast.
Poisoning their brain with Spy Kids, and today one of our kids pitched us a movie idea that started with bad guys and started rambling off until we stopped.
We gave the note that every Hollywood executive gets. Can we raise the stakes at all? How can we raise the stakes? You know what's funny? And again, this podcast, I've said from the beginning, we're not going to talk about our kids, but there is one funny anecdote just because we're talking about screen time. I'm working the Comedy Cellar this week, and last night, the first night with Mark Cohen, who was here last week for our comedians brunch that we spoke about, brought something up that was really funny, which is he asked if he could show the kids something on his phone. I was like, no, we're not really big on screen time. And then 2 seconds later, the kids both ran down with like toy guns chasing bad guys pretending to kill people, and we didn't say anything about it. And he just pointed out how funny it is that we're like, no to screen time, but guns and killing bad guys, perfectly fine. Issue there.
He's like, I'd like to show him this beautiful speech by Martin Luther King. We're like, absolutely not. They're like, I'm gonna kill you. Poo, 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 poo. We're like, that's...
Hey, as long as they're playing games in real life, that's what we're all about. But enough about the kids. What's going on with you? What's up?
So I get swept away. You go to the Rio and do your thing. You do your comedy. And I love that you leave and I take advantage of like solo time. And I'm like, how can I get creative? Whatever. And then I just doom scroll on Instagram, obviously. And I was doom scrolling and I was like, oh, a way to be, and I've heard this before, but one way to really harness confidence as a woman and a man, whatever, you could do this.
Sure.
Men have Superman, Clark Kent.
Well, say what you're going to say.
You create a fun ego.
An alter ego.
Alter ego. Like Stephanie, whatever, is actually Lady Gaga, Doja Cat, all these names create.
Well, in some cases, especially for men, there's multiple, because it's like Eminem, what Marshall Mathers is Eminem when he's rapping, but then Eminem has an alter ego, which is Slim Shady, where he says all the disturbing stuff on the albums that made him super famous.
I didn't know that.
So sometimes the alter ego has an alter ego.
Yeah, and like you have a rapper name.
No, I don't have a rapper name. When I was in college, I dabbled with a few mixtapes and I was no good. Yes, but it wasn't an alter ego. I wasn't trying to become something different. If anything, the alter ego is when I first started doing stand-up. I wore top to bottom gold grills on stage.
And now you are a dad who grills from grill to grill.
From grill to grill, the full circle of Jewish life. But
I decided it was time for me to embrace an alter ego. Maybe that will make me more confident.
Yes, because you lack confidence.
I truly need more confidence in my life.
Everyone said if Esther would just come out of her shell a little bit, if we could just get Esther to be a little bit more vibrant and extroverted.
Yes, I'm off of weed, and now I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So I want fire. I lit incense. I want something exciting and creative. I started an alter ego and I had some hot tea, something for my mouth.
Get to the point.
So I decided, I worked with ChatGPT a little bit, but I was creating names, and my middle name is Kay, and I created an alter ego, drum roll, Kay Royale.
Love it. It's a great
And maybe
name.
today, my little red corset, I'm trying to embrace it.
This is Kay Royale.
Oh, this is very Kay Royale.
I will say, so last night, I call Esther, anytime I leave the Rio at the end of the second show when I'm on my way home, I just kind of give her the 20-minute heads up, like, hey, I'm in the car, I'm going to be home, just in case she needs me to stop off and pick anything up, or if there's a problem she needs to talk my ear off about on my drive home. And last night, she tells me, I created an alter ego, and right away, I'm like, Buh? But then you're like, okay, are you ready for the name? and I was fully prepared for the stupidest name, the worst name that I had to pretend to support. And then she hit me with Kay Royale, and I was sincerely like, what a badass name.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, I love Kay Royale is a dope alter ego to have.
That's very sweet. And now I can use it when I want to be the super confident. But I'm sure as a husband, you're just like, please just watch The Real Housewives. Please just binge. Can my woman just binge watch TV so I don't every time you come home from work at night, I'm like, I have a new obsession. This is what we need to do at the dining room.
No, I have. If this alter ego brings you the confidence that you seem to think you lack, even though I think everyone else in the world who knows you would disagree with the fact that you lack confidence. If this alter ego makes you happy, God bless. I am all for you doing whatever you want to do to feel better about yourself. I'm here to support and champion you in every way. But what I will say is, we've often said, I think Mike Vecchione was the one who had the joke about how every relationship only works if there's a boring person and a crazy person. You are clearly the crazy. I'm clearly the boring. So this idea that you need another crazy card in your arsenal, another crazy tool in your tool belt. I have no problem if you want to be Kay Royale, but I'm hoping it doesn't manifest itself in a way that's now going to annoy me, where like when I feel like you're being too much, you're just like, oh, so you can't handle me in Kay Royale mode.
Kay Royale is if you can't handle me, it's not my problem.
Kay Royale is not a people pleaser.
That's the thing, is it's me trying not to be a people pleaser. And can we just address the name I've been lugging around for 21 years?
What
is my name?
Esther Steinberg.
That is a tough one.
Wait, but hold on. What do you mean 21 years?
It's a
You're
joke.
36 years old. Oh, I was about to say. Okay.
But
yes,
Kay Royale.
To go from Esther K. Steinberg to then Esther Steinberg Garden Swords to Kay Royale is certainly an upgrade on the cool factor.
I just feel like I've never had a cool name. I committed to not being a DJ. Obviously, as a comedian, I'm just going to like embrace the old lady name, make it a couple jokes. But if I had $1 for every time someone said, oh my God, you're young. I thought you were 90 when you reached out to me and said Esther Steinberg. I'm like, oh, sorry.
The only one who can rival you on the old Jew's name, which is even funnier, is our friend Sydney Blumstein, who is a real estate agent, and she is a young, vibrant party girl in New York who
is a gay Spanish man in her heart.
No, but when you see the name Sydney Blumstein on a real estate business card, you expect an old Jewish man.
Yes.
So she's in this. So maybe Sydney needs her version of Kay Royale.
You know what? As a person who's like, let's all embrace our sexiness, our wildness, our alter egos, our Supermans, whatever it is to get through your day, maybe it is. Maybe it is a fun name.
You know what my alter ego is?
I've been waiting for it.
Mr. Leave Me Alone.
Oh, no. You're Captain Efficiency.
No, I'm Mr. Leave Me Alone. That's going to be
Mr. Efficiency. What are you? Is that what I call you, Mr. Efficiency?
Yeah.
You are, as quickly as possible, get everything done.
But isn't an alter ego supposed to be slightly different than what you are? Like, if I, as myself, am incredibly efficient, why would my alter ego be Mr. Efficiency? My alter ego should then be someone who doesn't care about efficiency, someone who's like laid back and like, whatever, take the time you need, do it how you want. I don't care if you're doing it in a stupid, slow way. So I'm cool with that.
I like that.
I hate it already.
Is it like Steve Urkel and Stefan?
Exactly.
We know Steve Urkel.
Steve Urkel and Stefan. It was Stefan Urkel, right? It was Steve Urkel and Stefan Urkel.
Reference. Yeah. If you're not a millennial, like you missed out on Steve Urkel and
when Stefan Urkel hit the screen. It was so funny. I can't even imagine being a young girl and watching that and being like, is Steve Urkel fuckable?
It created, every single millennial girl was like, I want a project. Like, we now just give me a bag of bones, give me a mess of a man, give me anything, and I will fix him.
You're thinking that Steve Urkel going to Stefan Urkel was the origin of that for millennial women looking for a project? All right, well, I think we've covered name changes and aliases enough. What else is going on? There's got to be
I had a show. It was very fun. And after the show, I went with my friend Alexis, shout out, to a concert.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this was not a normal concert. Immediately, my mind was blown. It was a fucking fashion show. I went to Jeezy at Planet Hollywood. I highly recommend everyone go to
Young
Jeezy.
Jeezy is doing a Vegas residency, but it's Young Jeezy backed by a symphonic orchestra.
It's unbelievable.
And it is black tie dress code. So you have to be literally in ball gowns and tuxedos to go hear Young Jeezy rap with an orchestra behind him. I have not gone yet. I am legitimately a Young Jeezy fan. You didn't even really know who he was. You knew a song or two, and then you went and came back and had your mind blown by Young Jeezy. And you're like, do you know this song? Do you know that song? I'm like, yeah, I know every word to every Young Jeezy song he's ever made.
I was so jealous because everyone in the crowd, okay, they were in black tie. We'll get into that. And every single person was rapping. Now, I have been to a lot of concerts. Some people stand up, some people don't. This concert, not a single person was sitting. Actually, there was one guy sitting, but his girl was giving him a lap dance. So it was like, you can't really stand up and get that. But people were dancing in their seats in black tie, standing up, dancing. I was like, thank you. And everyone was rapping every single word like they were mic'd up.
I can't wait to go. And I told you this, an aspirational story, just speaking to the value of believing in yourself and being willing to put yourself out there. I went to Emory University year 2002 to 2006. My sophomore year, me and a couple of my best friends tried to start a club promoting company, Endless Productions. Shout out to us. We didn't do very well. But when we first started trying to promote our club nights, we would go into Buckhead, which at the time was still very much like the poppin' area of Atlanta where club life was. And we were going and handing out invitations to our events and putting up flyers. And everywhere we went, we saw flyers for this mixtape, Trap or Die Volume 1, Young Jeezy. And no one knew who the fuck Young Jeezy was, what Trap or Die Volume 1 was. Cut to 5 years later, Young Jeezy is the biggest name in rap. Trap or Die is all over. He did multiple mixtapes. Jeezy the Snowman absolutely blew up. And I literally witnessed from the ground up him putting flyers up around Atlanta just trying to promote his mixtape into becoming a rap mogul. And so if you really are willing to put in the work and stand behind your product and get your name out there, you can win at a big level.
And he put on for his city.
He sure did. Now, perhaps Endless Productions would have done a little better if his flyers weren't taking up so much real estate in Buckhead, but that's neither here nor there.
You know what? Okay, so listen. Some of the Alexis works for Caesars, which is in charge of all these shows. Someone that she worked with had a snowman. She was like, "Oh, I need a snowman." And it was a snowman pin. And I said,
"Yeah, Jeezy the Snowman."
Okay, I said, "What's the snowman for?" And she was like, "Shh, don't say that."
Well, because it's in reference to all the crack he used to sell.
Oh, stop it. Are you serious?
Yeah, snow, like cocaine and crack. Like, yes, he was trapping, Trap or Die. Jeezy
No,
used
she
to...
meant you should be embarrassed. We're in Jeezy country. Everyone here knows every word to every song, and you dumb idiot don't know what a snowman is.
Well, she probably. I'm willing to bet that Alexis Grossman did not know what the snowman represents in Jeezy lore.
I didn't know the snowman represented.
It's bad that you didn't know Jeezy was the snowman, but I assure you, Alexis has no clue what the snowman is actually a metaphor for.
I like entering an environment where I know a little bit and everyone else is like, "You dummy."
But say all that to say,
more.
we now have plans. We're going in November, and I am going to either rent or buy the most outlandish tuxedo you've ever seen. I am going to stunt at the Young Jeezy concert.
I was hanging out with a gay man at the Jeezy concert. He was an employee, so he's here a lot. I was like, "Oh my God, the outfits. Oh my God, it's a fashion show." I feel like you could have like Joan Rivers talking to people. You could have an entire TV show of the fashion show of Jeezy. Maybe that's my pitch. Listen to me. The girls looked good, but I've seen girls look good. The men looked amazing.
That's what stood out.
White suits, crazy suits, glittery shoes, and the gay guy was like, "It's almost Metro." And I was like, black men get their own. There's straight men. Yes. And then there's straight black men from Atlanta that are going to a Jeezy concert, which is black tie. And that is gayer than gay.
Straight black men trying to stunt and look nice far exceeds what the most outlandish gay white man will put on.
And then we can put a pin on this.
But they pull it off. Yeah, sure.
And I think I hope that he comes back.
And we'll be there.
That we can make it work.
And we will wear an outfit of all outfits.
Whatever you decide to wear, you're going to look in the mirror and be like, I'm the most outrageous person ever. And then you need sunglasses. We'll get those.
For sure.
I don't know why, but that's necessary.
And I will wear a snowman pin.
And you will look like the most casual guy. You could try your absolute best. You could have a train.
Can't compete when you can't compare. Can't compare when you can't compete.
The hair was also, I saw, yeah.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to that. Now, outside of your weekend out, we had a little family kerfuffle this week that had to be undone. My father went on vacation with my stepmom. Wonderful couple. We love spending time with them. They went overseas this summer and called us and said, we're having such a great time. We would love to bring you, Esther, and the kids next summer. It was going to be like the vacation. Now, I am one of 6 children. Okay, because my father, it's a Brady Bunch. I have 2 biological sisters, and then I have 3 step siblings. But all in all, we're a close-knit family, and there are 6 of us. So anytime there is a family vacation, there is the possibility of upwards of 19 to 20 nuclear family members because of all the kids and then their kids. So anytime my kids have had grandparent time, there's other grandchildren around. Anytime we go to visit my dad in Denver, there are other grandchildren around. Anytime they've come out to Vegas so far, they've brought other grandchildren because they want to make it a Vegas trip. My kids at ages 6 and 4 have literally never, ever had isolated grandparent time to themselves. So when they offered to take us on this trip, I was like, we would love to go. That's so generous. Thank you. We will absolutely be there. But I just want to make sure it is just my family. This is for my children. And my dad was like, absolutely. We are looking forward to isolated grandchild time. Cut to a week later, I get a call from my sister that's like, why is dad saying that there's a whole family vacation next summer that you started and everyone's invited? And I was like, what the fuck? I could not have been more clear about the fact.
Was she upset?
No, I mean, she wasn't upset, but my sister hates to travel in general. Her kids don't do well on flights, so she was a little confused as to why she was now being pressured into possibly taking a vacation she had no plan on going on and didn't know anything about. And the fact that my father told her it was my idea for like this all-family vacation just couldn't have been more the opposite of how it went down. So I essentially called my dad right away and was like, this is not what we talked about at all. I gave all the reasons why it was important for our children to have isolated grandchild time and told them they can do the big family vacation, but if they do that, we will not be coming. And so then my father understood the error of his ways and uninvited literally the entire family, and I had to be the bad guy along with my father in rescinding people's invitations on an international vacation to make sure that our kids got to go uninterrupted.
And we have a 28-person trip to Hawaii this December.
But the thing is, it all comes from a great place. My dad is incredibly generous. The one thing my dad loves to spend any of his money on is family togetherness. That is his pride and joy. So he is physically incapable, literally incapable of not inviting anyone and everyone to anything and everything.
And I know I'm an experienced garden swartz because when you said we're gonna have one-on-one, I don't know if you remember, but I was like,
You literally, yeah. I told Esther, I was like, this is great. My dad invited us on this trip, just our family, and she's like,
just
I'll
our
believe
family.
it. And I literally said, I was like, I assure you, I could not have been more clear. He promised me it would just be us. Cut to a week later, we're having to uninvite 15 people on a trip.
And I think that comes with good experience. And then my dad decided to save the day. We have a gig that we're so excited about in Dallas. It involves me and Noah, so I said yes to the gig, but now we need my mom or dad or someone. And my mom, of course, has all this drama with her Invisalign.
Your mom usually comes to Vegas in August to be here for the start of school, but she is on an Invisalign journey that requires monthly checkups that altered her travel schedule.
This is the end of the Invisalign journey. And by the way, if anyone feels like life is going too fast for them, get Invisalign.
It'll slow everything down to a halt.
It's the slowest 2 years of your life. It is the most annoying. She is. My mom. I have misophonia for Invisalign.
I love the way you phrased it because I was like, we've got our gig on September 3rd. Is your mom coming to town? And you're like, let me check. And then 10 minutes later, you come back. You're like, my mom's Invisalign is ruining my life.
It is. My mom's Invisalign has always been ruining my life, but now it's really ruining my life. So my dad, called me and I was like, okay. He said he listened to the podcast and then pitched some jokes. I said,
thank you for not including me in that.
I said to him, I'm having a hard time because I'm going to Dallas and I need someone to watch the kids. He goes, I'll come and I'll watch the kids. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I'll come and I'll watch them. I'm like, okay.
Incredibly nice.
So I said, no, he's going to come and watch the kids. You're like, that is so kind. And I'm like, he said he would come and watch the kids.
Well, you weren't worried that he wouldn't come. You were worried that he would come and do all the things you ask him not to do, which is just feed them bad food, show them stuff on his phone, and teach them inappropriate jokes, because that is what your dad does when he's around.
But I also was like, there's a 3% chance he actually comes, because I grew up and my dad was like, do you guys want to get a monkey? And I said, yeah, I do. He said, do you guys want to get a bunny? I said, yeah, I do. We never got a monkey. We never got a bunny. Shit like this happens with my dad all the time.
Bringing a wild animal into the home is a lot different than agreeing to show up to babysit your grandchildren while your daughter works.
He says he'll be there with the kids and that he's a workaholic.
No, your dad.
No, he's a workaholic.
You're too hard on your dad. When he comes to Vegas, he's great with the kids. You don't always love the way he's great with the kids.
He spreads out his Social Security lawyer work all over the kitchen table.
You don't love some of the jokes the kids end up telling. You don't love the fact that they come down and go, "Mama mia, Papa Pia, baby's got the diarrhea." But
admit that everywhere he goes, a law firm follows.
Well, he works. All right. So anything else you want to talk about from life? We are 1 week away from the kids going back to school.
You know, I have a couple of obsessions that I get like hooked into. And one of them is obviously like the early aughts. Like we've seen the 90s are coming back. And then now they're saying the early aughts are coming back. And obviously I'm all for it. Give me the Tiffany's necklaces and all that stuff. Here's where we know the early aughts is coming back. We millennial women have survived the heroin chic anorexic look, and it is so coming back. And that is alarming. We don't want that. Ariana Grande, we're all concerned for her, she's been heroin chic for a minute, not really chic at all. And she has just announced she is leaving the spotlight. Did you feel like that was kind of coming?
Well, I felt nothing because I certainly don't follow Ariana Grande, but I have heard through the zeitgeist whispers that she is like scarily thin and people are worried for her health. And I'm hoping that she's leaving the spotlight. If it is a case of anorexia, she's leaving the spotlight to get the help she needs and put on the weight to be healthy, and not like because she wants to keep on doing this but doesn't want to be ridiculed while battling mental or physical health issues. So I wish her the best, and I am here to tell anyone and everyone that will listen, heroin chic is not it. We want some meat on the bones, ladies. Don't do it.
But that is an alarming thing that Y2K is back in that one moment where Lilo's back, Lindsay Lohan's back.
I've never, again, this was not in my lane, but I never ever equated the early aughts with heroin chic.
Okay.
That was not a part of my early aughts.
What was a part? So what I'm asking is,
was my early aughts? Young Jeezy, Trap or Die, Volume 1, Streets of Atlanta.
What do you think is coming? If the early aughts is coming back, and we're getting some signs that it's very much coming back, what do we think?
I'm not seeing these signs. I don't pay attention. I'm not worried about the cultural cycles of fashion. What I will say is it will be hilarious. I'll know the early aughts are back if you start seeing T-shirts down to people's knees and throwback jerseys with backwards hats to match. Like, that's my version of the early aughts that, looking back when I see pictures, I'm like, wow, that was ridiculous. But if it started coming back, would be kind of funny.
Well, look at who's famous right now. Like, Lilo is doing the movies now, and 50 Cent is like the big producer.
He never went away, though. Like, you're not saying something is coming back. If someone who was famous 20 years ago and has maintained fame throughout is still famous, that's not like a repetition of the cycle. That's just someone consistently producing at a high level, and good for him. Now, I want to change the subject because I'm actually not interested in this early odds combo.
What do they call the tall tees? Tall tee?
Yeah, I mean, back then, like the plain white tees, but yeah, the tall, I don't know. Okay. Whatever.
You seem repulsed.
Yeah, we might possibly delete that whole thing.
Why are you repulsed by the early aughts coming back?
I'm not repulsed by the early aughts coming back. I'm repulsed by the conversation we just had. I just found it to be uninteresting. The only other thing I wanted to talk about from our week was I got set up on an adult play date. Men over the age of 30 don't make new friends, but I had a good friend in Los Angeles who had a good friend of his recently moved to Vegas. He just put us on a text chain and was like, trust me, you guys should hang out. You'll love each other. So we got set up on a lunch date. And as promised, we hit it off. It was very nice to make a new friend. He's just settling into Vegas. He's been here for a year, but spent the first year really working hard and hasn't focused on the social scene. Now he's ready for friendship. So we invited him to our gym for the weekend, and he came and worked out. But our gym has a beautiful outdoor pool, and because it's such a family gym, there's like these huge water slides. And I told this grown man who's in his 40s, I was like, trust me, you got to go down the water slide. And he was kind of like hesitantly begrudging, like, I guess I'll go down. And then he goes down this water slide that is legitimately scary. It is a pitch black tunnel that winds and whips you around and then shoots you out at 100 miles an hour. And I just see this guy get shot out of the water slide, comes up with the smile of a 12-year-old child. And he was like, I haven't been on a water slide in probably 30 years. Thank you so much for making me go down that water slide. And it was just like a moment of pure joy. It was funny for a 40-year-old man to befriend another 40-year-old man and then also force that 40-year-old man to go down a water slide and have him come up with nothing but gratitude in his heart. And that was a fun moment from this week for me.
Yes, and he moved from LA a year ago, and he agreed with me on something. Here it is. Hot take. It's actually just the truth. People in LA don't know how to have fun. They know how to do a lot of things. And yes, I'm going to say the whole city has to come to Vegas to have fun. If someone's having a birthday party, wants to go out dancing, wants to get drunk, wants to do crazy stuff, wants to make mistakes, it's kind of like being in a high school and worried about your reputation. And so you kind of hook up or party at a different high school and then no one knows about it. But I do feel like he agreed with me. LA has to come all the way to Vegas to have fun. And he's agrees that live entertainment and all the cool stuff happening in Vegas is not dying. In fact, it's here to stay.
Great. Well, I don't agree with the fact that people in LA don't know how to have fun, but I think in general, a lot of people in LA while having fun are too cool to like really let their guard down. In Vegas, you don't have to be too cool. You just get to wild out, be as crazy, as corny, as hokey, as kitschy as you want, and it's still just part of the Wild Vegas weekend. But
now I am going to a baby shower this weekend in Los Angeles, and my question is, am I going to bring out like Kay Royale sparkly corsets, or will I be way too cool for school? You know,
if there was ever a time to debut Kay Royale, it would be
my friend's baby
amongst
shower.
the BG4L crew, your bad girls for life, Tampa high school crew.
It's Cabo class of 08.
All you guys maintain very well. You still have a group of bad bitches. There's 5 of you. All 5 of you are incredibly attractive. All 5 of you are very happy in life. 4 of you are married with kids and doing well. And I think Kay Royale is ready to meet the gals.
It's going to be a lot of like bougie, cool, awesome, hip, trendy LA girls. Everyone's going to be in beige, wearing Reformation, nice jewelry, and I'll be like, hello, in like head to toe glitter, some fake eyelashes.
Be Vegas, Kay Royale. You'll be the wild friend
like,
from Vegas.
All right, do you live here still? Are you in Encino? And I'm like, nah, bitches, I'm in Vegas.
Little do they know you're in Summerlin, which is just a heightened version of suburban Encino. It's just even quieter. All right, well, speaking of, for this week in Vegas, you had an interesting news story.
Well,
you thought it was interesting. I can understand why you think it's interesting.
I think it's very, very interesting, and it's all over my, it's all over my news feed because I think that I'm inclined.
Just share the story. You do every time I ask you for this week in Vegas. You go into a tangent.
Before I even start with the news story, your complaint is that some of my news stories seem to have a little bit robotic AI infusion. And I'm here to say, I don't think it's just my news story. I literally think that this is all news. Like 70% of news has to do with AI.
Great. So what is it?
Get excited. All right, everyone. This is This Week in Vegas. A controversial AI teacher is making headlines in New York and Las Vegas is part of the story. A New York school district has paused its plans to introduce a humanoid classroom robot after backlash over its manufacturer's connection to a Las Vegas company known for creating ultra-realistic adult sex dolls.
So I'm just going to go out and say 2 things. One, if you're doing business with a Vegas doll company, you have to assume that they are at the very least tangentially related to the sex doll industry. If you thought you were getting dolls, realistic robotic humanoids from Vegas, and someone wasn't fucking them, you're naive.
No, listen, they sold it. These like Las Vegas, like a used car salesman is selling it being like, they're teachers, they're educators, they're going to educate. There's nothing to do. It has nothing to do.
Why does the Vegas salesman have a New York accent?
Because obviously it's an Italian New Yorker who's going to take a trip to the lake if you fuck him over.
So first and foremost, I feel like New York should have known exactly what they were getting into. Second of all, I would say, with all the teacher-student sex scandals that have arisen, wouldn't it be better if that teacher was at the very least a robot?
That's what I'm saying. Inappropriate teacher-student sex stuff happening with a mechanical doll.
If students and teachers are going to be fucking, at least let the teacher not be an actual human. Feels a little bit less predatory.
They will still blame the female teacher. Of course, they'll be like, little Frankie got taken advantage of by his humanoid sex doll.
No one blames the female teachers. If male teachers sleeping with younger women happen at the prevalence of female teachers sleeping with younger guys, it would be a much more vitriolic news cycle. No one is actually mad about these female teachers sleeping with young male students, but that's not where we need to go with this.
No, you have to just let's stay on New York City buying, and this is very, very expensive, educators, AI robot to educate children, okay?
Yeah, the bigger
I have to show you the picture of these dolls.
Are they
because
sexy?
It's like, you open it up and you're like, kids, your new teacher, and it's like it's plastic Pam Anderson.
It's Kay Royale.
She's like 4 + 4 is, and like a nipple pops out. It's like, hey, you have to just see the visuals.
That will get kids to pay attention. Like, I think a lot more kids would be willing to learn from a smoke show robotic humanoid than they would like an old crotchety Miss Frizzle type. Even though Miss Frizzle was young.
I just want kids to get cars and work.
Yeah, I would say the bigger moral quandary is the fact that it's AI robots teaching, not the business that these AI robots may have been tied to.
I think that the world, and I've said this before, but I think that the world is human versus machine. Like we have to band together as a human race to fight the machines. That's what's happening. Now listen, there was also a lot of news stories saying that like these big companies like Amazon, for instance, hires people, fires them, and then gets all the AI robots to do the work. They're now saying that the AI robots are way more expensive, take up way more like energy resources, and are incredibly unpredictable and break and do crazy stuff. They're ready to go back to humans. It does kind of remind me of like old women versus younger women, where the guy leaves the woman to go with the younger woman. And
imagine how bummed out these students are going to be, though, after they got Pam Anderson robot version being their math teacher, and then they just bring in like Mrs. Delanoche.
She's like, kids, settle down. And they're like, you're not a robot.
Yeah. Shooting spitballs at her.
But I like the idea that now companies are like, teachers, everything, we're like, okay, you know what would be more? You're telling me that human beings are more predictable and more reliable. Now, a lot of people would cut out a yawn on a podcast. A lot of people
I
would
yawned because we're going to cut out like the last 2.5 minutes. We've already beaten this robot story to death.
Not as hard as some of these kids
are beating their meat to their robotic teacher. Is that what you're going to go with? All right, Joke Yard. Because I'm getting a spidey sense that Spy Kids and Odd Squad are running off the iPad as we speak. So what do you have for Joke Yard? I can start if you want. I had an old joke about my wife's hair cycle, about how every 6 months my wife comes and complains that her hair is too dark and she needs highlights, and then 6 months later she complains that her hair is too light and she needs to go back to original color. And it's always funny because I literally never noticed the difference. And so to me, like, to you, you're on a hair journey, and to me, you've just always had hair, and that's it. I don't know if there's anything funny to that.
I'm trying to be an hairspiration to all.
But I'm just saying, is there anything fun? Is it like too hack to do a like my wife and her hair? Is there anything funny to the fact that you are like consistently fighting this battle with your hair that I first of all, want no part of, and second of all, don't even notice. Like you're really tossing and turning over what color hair, and to me, it is all the same. I've never noticed when you had highlights, didn't have highlights. You just have long curly hair, and I love it.
There's something funny about you just being like, I love it. It looks so great and different. And having to show how much you care.
I don't know. Is there some? I feel like there's something so hack about like, fellas, when your wife gets her hair done, just say you love it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if there's anything there. That's just an old note that I pulled up because we're running thin on Joke Yard. But
I have 2 funny one-liners.
Hold on. Are they actually old, or are these new that you're trying to pass off as an old joke for
These
Joke
are
Yard?
very old jokes.
Okay, can't wait.
I pulled out a joke notebook
right,
from 1979.
Hit me with them.
My best friend went on a date with a guy who pulled out a vape pen. She was date vaped.
That's funny. That's good. It's funny that that's old and actually feels more relevant now. Like
a lot of these old, I was ahead of my time.
Yeah, since you were a vape revolutionary, since you wrote that joke, vaping has only become more part of the mainstream. I actually think that's a great joke to pull out now. Love that joke. Keep going.
I'm surprised that no one else has done it.
Keep going.
Jews are so funny because they pray to a brick wall.
Hate that. What? How is that? Where's the joke? Why? What part of that is a joke?
Because you
I
do
understand
comedy in front of a brick wall.
Oh, so you're saying literally like Jews are comedians perform in front of a brick wall. Jews are funny like comedians because they pray to a brick wall. I think that is taking way too much of a leap that you're expecting the audience to understand. I don't think most audiences equate comedians to brick walls, and most non-Jews certainly don't know about the kotel and praying to a brick wall. Hard yes on the date vaped, hard no on the Jews and a brick wall. Final verdict. Thank you for your 2 jokes to Joke Yard. Thank you for another episode. Kay Royale, it has been wonderful podcasting with you. And
I don't like it when
out.
you say that. I like Kay Royale. It was wonderful podcasting with you.
You're getting jealous as Esther Steinberg that your husband likes
like,
Kay Royale?
Oh, it feels like he's making fun. Like it needs to stay.
No, I was being sincere. Kay Royale, it was wonderful podcasting with you.
It is your pleasure.
I'm in khakis. Khaki Noah likes Kay Royale.
Khaki Noah is still just Noah. We need to dig deep.
I wasn't grumpy Noah. I was pleasant this entire podcast.
Okay, we did not bring that up.
What?
Grumpy Noah being your alter ego. Your alter ego is we need like a Steve or Kaa.
No,
Noah.
Oh, you always do this. I end the podcast and then you start trying to.
Well, you have dates. You're at the cellar for the next 17 days.
I'm at the cellar for eternity. No, by the time this podcast comes out, I will only be at the cellar for a few more nights. But through August 9th, I'll be at the Comedy Cellar at the Rio in Las Vegas, 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. every night. I will be in Dallas September 3rd, Tampa September 23rd, and Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club September 25th and 26th in Las Vegas.
And people are asking about that. I will be in Oklahoma City August 29th, September 3rd in Dallas, Texas, September 23rd, Tampa, Florida, September 24th, Las Vegas Wise Guys, September 25th and 26th. I'll be featuring for Noah. And then I believe I'll be in Nashville in November. I'll also be in New York City in November. I'll get more specific dates. And I'm just so excited to not be a people pleaser.
I'm going to make a request. When you feature for me at Jimmy Kimmel's 25th and 26th, you can still be brought out as Ester Steinberg, but I want Kay Royale to do the set.
Well, then bring me out as Kay Royale. I really want to shed Ester Steinberg.
No. I'm not going to let you do a mid-career name switch. That's not going to work. But
How
your persona on stage. How
exciting would that be?
I want Kay Royale to tell the date vape joke on my sets at Jimmy Kimmel's. All right, now I'm seriously out. Thank you. Bye.